heartbreaking image. Gee, that's huge damage.
He's made contact apparently.
Hang
on. Oh dear.
He's driving the wrong way. So he's driving the reverse direction to the racetrack, to a corner that you can't see around, to Jason Bright.
Co-driver.
Here we go.
Oh, you know what? He's got the inside wall. So turn 11. You can see the scars on the left side of the car already.
Start. Look at Percat. Oh, was there a touch there with the HRT Commodore, and around goes Slade. Contact with the sister entry. Look at the damage to the front of Lee Holdsworth's Commodore. Courtney has secured him the lead in the Pertec Enduro Cup, so it was significant.
There was a big concertina nose-to-tail thing here. Coulthard was involved in it, and Rick Kelly. I think really for Lee Holdsworth, there was nowhere to go. He wasn't directly involved in rotating Slade as such. It was an after effect. Oh, look at that. How's that for the closing right there down at turn 4? Bang. Huge contact.
Bang.
Into that tyre bundle, and Shane Van Gisbergen, who's tracking behind Lowndes at this stage, has nowhere to go but right into the rear of this car.
How lucky is that for Lowndes?
Position. Green means go for car number 1, and Paul Dumbrell's done a nice job, but we've got a huge problem here for the HRT car. 22's been turned around.
Here we go.
Oh, he stopped. What on earth's happened there?
What has happened there?
He stopped on the front straight, and Scott Dixon's had nowhere to go but straight into it. And that wheel has been...
Dixon and also Andrew Jones. We've got the onboard vision here just to have a look. This is typifying the sort of stuff that was going on up there all weekend. Amazing.
So a lot of the double stacking is hurting the midfield there. And effectively, here we go. Was that Ash Walsh involved in that one too?
Yeah, that was an awkward one, wasn't it? In fact, I don't really understand what's happened there. Yeah, that's an unusual place for that to occur on. That's the exit of turn 11.
On board.
So this might tell us a bit more. So that's turn 11.
He's hit the inside wall.
Now it makes more sense. He actually clobbered the apex, then he couldn't steer and got a subsequent hit, and you can see how distraught Jack LeBrock is, having finished 4th at Mount Panorama. And Ash Walsh was a victim.
Innocent bystander.
Yep. He had his hands.
So we'll have a look at this. This is Garth Tander trying to get by the GRM car, won't turn, and straight in. That has made very heavy contact.
And that would hurt. That one would physically hurt.
Have a look. This is on board. That is a big hit. Garth Tander on relatively cold tyres. And the reason that happens is you see a car in pit lane coming out. The field that had a left-hand mirror on it at the end.
The super slow-mo machine's got smoke coming off it this weekend, and this was the big incident that I mentioned before. Andrew Jones down at turn 2. He caught the curb on the inside there at the apex of turn 2, and you can see that it's fired him heavily into the wall on the outside. And Brad Jones said to me this morning it's the largest amount of damage he's ever had on one of his cars, and we'll detail more of this in a moment. But check out this slow-mo replay. Look at the rubble, look at the disaster that's unfolding here, and watch one of these tyres prop itself up on the top of the roof of this car and just sit there. The good news is that Andrew is okay, but that was a nasty incident. Did huge damage to that car. They've worked on it all night. They've replaced part of the subframe of the car, and Scafie, that's the sort of thing that we don't like seeing here, and there's a big cost attached to that.
No doubt.
So Villeneuve now drops back to 9.
Massive crash. Yeah. That is a really big crash.
It's car number 4. It's David Brabham.
He'd made really good ground also, Matt, but that hit the fence really hard. Have a look, and there's contact. Look at this, and then that is fast. That's 4th gear, and that is a really fast section of road.
Over for him very early in the piece.
And there goes Villeneuve. He's spun around in the Bottle entry. This will be carnage. Whack! It's Dodgem car stuff.
That was willpower into Villeneuve. Look at that. Cars everywhere. Have you ever seen anything like this?
That was 2 FPR cars together there too.
Okay, mate, settle down into a rhythm now. Keep going.
That's the original damage from Will Power's car. Will Davison is locked up in that. Car 10 as well.
That's Mika Salo.
Flag, safety car boards and flag, safety car move out onto the circuit.
And there's an unsurprising call.
Second time in 14 days. Does the replay unravel this mystery?
Well, Murphy reported back that he was just drilled from behind and sent into the fence. So that's car 3 in front, the high flex car. But watch this. Unloaded at high speed. Look at the damage already to car number 1. The Red Bull Racer is all bashed in, and then the impact of Murph's is enough to throw that car, almost 1.5 tons of V8 supercar, back out onto the circuit.
In the jump, watch this now. So look for car 14. And, oh, there was actually 2 in front. Oh, have a look. Look at the chaos. Oh, that's when we thought everyone was going to get by. Frank had nowhere to go. He was actually going quite fast by that stage. A lot of damage to the rear.
Overlap, there's a little bump. They're moving. Can he outbrake him down the left-hand side? Oh, in defence! That's massive! That's massive!
This is going to be a big incident. The safety car out. No problem. Where did the contact come and why? Here. Gus turned him.
Absolutely.
Garth has turned him, and he'll no doubt be penalised for that. And that's going to already been a lot of emotion in the pit lane in the last 2 weeks. Wow.
That's fast. Ray Hall and James Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe got a pretty good start, but now he's stopped dead. He's stopped dead, and he's been run into straight up the back from Lucas de Grassi. There's more carnage. Oh my goodness!
That's Ricky Taylor in the second Fujitsu car. It was Tony Liuzzi that made the contact.
Car 33.
Red flag, red flag. It's required.